On May 1st, 2026, the Scorpio full moon rises like a silver eye over dark water, and what it reflects back may not be easy to ignore. This is not the kind of full moon that only lights up the sky. This is the kind that lights up the part of you that has been silent for too long. The part of you that knew something was changing before anyone explained it. The part of you that felt the emotional pressure building in your chest, the strange dreams coming back, the memories returning, the silence feeling louder, the truth pressing against the locked door of your soul. And for Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, this full moon may feel like an emotional breakthrough that does not arrive gently. It arrives like dark water finally becoming still enough to show you the reflection you were not ready to see. The Scorpio full moon is not coming to comfort everyone. It is coming to reveal what has been hidden, buried, avoided, and emotionally delayed. This is the moon of deep truth, soul pressure, karmic release, and inner rebirth. It does not ask you to pretend. It does not let you decorate pain and call it peace. It does not allow half-truths to keep sitting at the center of your life. Under this moon, something inside you may begin to rise again, not to hurt you, but to free you. Something you pushed down, something you tolerated, something you explained away, something you said you were over, something you kept locked inside a private room of your heart may begin to move toward the surface. And once it rises, you may realize it was never gone. It was waiting for the right light. You must understand what is happening now. Scorpio is not a shallow sign. Scorpio does not skim the surface. Scorpio does not ask, what looks fine? Scorpio asks, what is true? It rules the hidden rooms, the emotional debts, the invisible attachments, the wounds we protect, the desires we do not speak, the fears we cover with control, and the transformation that comes after we finally stop lying to ourselves. When the full moon reaches Scorpio, the emotional tide becomes powerful. The dark water rises, and in that water, you may see the face of a truth you have been avoiding. This is why the days around this full moon may feel heavier than usual, may feel more sensitive, more reflective, more distant, or more alert to energies you normally ignore. You may notice people revealing themselves without meaning to. You may hear something in someone's tone that tells you more than their words. You may suddenly understand why something kept draining you. You may feel tired of pretending that uncertainty is patience, that silence is peace, that mixed signals are mystery, that emotional hunger is love, or that survival is the same as stability. The truth you avoided becomes the truth that frees you. Before this moment, many of you may have been moving through a strange emotional fog. Not completely lost, but not completely clear either. You may have been waiting for a sign, waiting for a message, waiting for someone to act differently, waiting for your own heart to stop caring, waiting for life to explain why something ended, slowed down, changed, or became confusing. There may have been a quiet ache inside you, the kind you do not always talk about because even you do not know how to name it. Some days it may have felt like longing. Other days it may have felt like anger. Sometimes it may have felt like exhaustion. But beneath all of it, there was a deeper question. Why am I still carrying this? That question matters, because this Scorpio full moon is not just showing you what happened. It is showing you what it costs you to keep holding it. It may show you how much energy you spent trying to stay calm around people who made you nervous. System feel unsafe. It may show you how much of yourself you gave to situations that could not give anything real back. It may show you where loyalty became self-abandonment, where patience became waiting in pain, where love became emotional labor, where protection became isolation, and where control became fear wearing armor. Under this full moon, the dark water does not lie. It reflects what is there. Sometimes the reflection is beautiful. Sometimes it shows you your strength, your survival, your depth, your ability to heal, your power to begin again. But sometimes it shows you the thing you have not wanted to admit. It shows you the relationship that only works when you disappear. The dream that no longer fits the person you are becoming. Oh, the habit that keeps you safe, but also keeps you stuck. The money pattern built from fear instead of trust. The old wound that still chooses your reactions before your wisdom can speak. This is why the energy may feel like a warning and a rebirth at the same time. The warning is not to scare you. The warning is to wake you. Do not ignore what repeatedly feels wrong. Do not chase what keeps pulling away. Do not confuse intensity with intimacy. Do not treat emotional confusion as destiny. Do not keep offering your softness to people who only appear when they need your warmth. This moon may not give every answer immediately, but it may make one thing very clear. Your body already knows what your mind has been trying to negotiate. You may feel this in your chest first. A pressure, a heaviness, sudden emotional tightness that seems to come from nowhere. You may feel it in your throat, as if words are rising but you are not sure whether to speak them. You may feel it in your stomach, through instinct, discomfort, a strange inner pull, or the feeling that something is not aligned even if everything looks normal on the outside. Scorpio energy often speaks through the body before it reaches the mind. It whispers through tension. It warns through fatigue, reveals through dreams. It uses silence like a mirror. Around this full moon, dreams may become more symbolic. Old faces may appear. Past conversations may replay. You may wake up with emotions you cannot fully explain. You may think about people you have not heard from in a long time, not because they are necessarily returning, but because your spirit is reviewing what still has a hook in you. The dark water brings things upward. It brings memory, grief, desire, anger, tenderness, and truth. But it does not bring them up to trap you. It brings them up so they can finally move through you. This is the emotional breakthrough. It may not look dramatic from the outside. You may not make a loud announcement. You may not cut everyone off. You may not suddenly change your whole life overnight. The breakthrough may be quieter than that, but deeper. It may be the moment you stop defending someone's potential and start looking at their pattern. It may be the moment you stop begging life for a closed door to open and finally notice the door that is already waiting. It may be the moment you stop asking, "Why did this happen to me?" and begin asking, "What part of me is finally ready to be free?" Financially, this full moon may also touch something important. Scorpio is connected to shared resources, emotional debt, hidden attachments, investments, power, and what we exchange with others beyond simple money. Taurus, the sign opposite Scorpio, speaks of personal security, self-worth, comfort, ownership, and what you build slowly over time. When this axis is activated, money is not just money. It becomes a mirror. It shows where you feel safe, where you feel afraid, where you overgive, where you undercharge, where you cling, where you avoid responsibility, and where your sense of worth has been tied to survival instead of inner value. You may notice a deeper awareness around spending, saving, debts, business choices, investments, or financial boundaries. This is not a time for impulsive financial decisions made from panic or emotional pressure. It is a time to look at the truth of your resources. What is draining you? What are you paying for emotionally, mentally, or financially that no longer supports the life you are building? Where have you been giving too much access to your time, money, energy, or skills? Where have you been afraid to receive more because some part of you still believes struggle is proof of worth? Scorpio, full moon may reveal that abundance is not only about attracting more. Sometimes abundance begins by closing the leak. Sometimes it begins by protecting what you already have.
Ouch.
Sometimes it begins by admitting that your energy is valuable. Sometimes it begins when you stop investing in situations that feed on your hope but never offer structure. You may feel called to review your work, your business, your prices, your savings, your responsibilities, or the people who benefit from your effort without respecting your limits. The dark water reflects not only your emotions, it reflects your value. For some, this energy may bring financial clarity through discomfort. You may realize something needs to be reorganized. You may see that a choice made from fear has kept you in a narrow pattern. You may feel ready to take your long-term stability more seriously. Scorpio does not like careless exposure. Taurus does not like unstable ground. Together, this full moon asks you to protect your future without living from fear. Save where you need to save. Invest only with awareness. Do not lend what you cannot afford to lose emotionally. Do not make promises while overwhelmed. Do not confuse generosity with abandoning your own security. Your body may also speak loudly during this transit. Full moons can heighten sensitivity, and Scorpio energy can bring buried emotions into physical form. You may feel tired even if you slept. You may feel wired even when you are resting. You may need more water, more quiet, more space, more sleep, and fewer draining conversations. Your nervous system may not respond well to chaos, overstimulation, arguments, or emotional uncertainty right now. Pay attention to what your body rejects. Pay attention to what makes you feel calm. Pay attention to where your energy drops. These are not random signals. They're part of the message. This is a powerful time for emotional release, but release does not always mean collapse. Sometimes release means crying once and finally feeling lighter. Sometimes release means sleeping deeply after weeks of inner noise. Sometimes release means saying no without explaining your entire heart. Sometimes release means stepping away from the screen, turning off the conversation, taking a walk, drinking water, breathing slowly, and letting your body return to itself. Scorpio transformation is not only spiritual, it is physical. Your body is where the truth has been stored. If old grief rises, do not shame yourself for feeling it. If anger appears, do not immediately call it negativity. Anger can be a messenger when it shows you where a boundary was crossed. Sadness can be a doorway when it shows you what mattered. Fatigue can be wisdom when it tells you what your soul is tired of carrying. The dark water may look frightening at first, but if you stay with it, you may see that it is not trying to drown you. It is trying to cleanse what has been held too long. Relationships may be the strongest area of this full moon. Scorpio does not tolerate emotional shallowness. It wants truth, trust, loyalty, vulnerability, and depth. Taurus wants consistency, peace, reliability, and proof through action. When this full moon activates that emotional field, you may begin to see people more clearly, not through fear, not through fantasy, through pattern. Who shows up when things are uncomfortable? Who disappears when honesty is required? Who only communicates when they want access to your energy? Who listens? Who avoids? Who makes you feel safe enough to be real? Who makes you shrink? This is where many people may feel the emotional breakthrough. A relationship does not need to end for truth to arrive, but truth does change the room. You may feel a conversation coming. You may feel a silence becoming unbearable. You may feel the difference between someone who is confused and someone who is comfortable keeping you confused. You may realize that mixed signals are still signals. You may recognize that emotional maturity is not measured by beautiful words during calm moments, but by how someone handles discomfort, accountability, boundaries, and the parts of you that cannot perform happiness on command. Do not chase during this full moon. Observe. Watch actions over words. Watch consistency over intensity. Watch how people respond when they do not get immediate access to you. Watch who respects your silence and who punishes you for having needs. Watch who can meet you in truth without turning your feelings into an inconvenience. This is not about becoming cold. It is about becoming clear. Your heart can remain soft while your standards become stronger for those in committed relationships. This full moon may bring a deeper emotional conversation. Something may need to be said with honesty, but without cruelty. Something may need to be repaired, named, forgiven, or finally understood. The energy supports emotional depth, but it does not support manipulation. Speak truth, not pressure. Listen for truth, not just reassurance. A relationship that is real can survive honest water. It may even become stronger through it. But a relationship built only on avoidance may feel the current pulling at its foundation. For those dealing with separation, distance, silence, or uncertainty, this moon may help you stop romanticizing emotional absence. You may begin to understand that longing is not always a sign to return. Sometimes longing is the final echo of an attachment leaving the body. Sometimes missing someone does not mean they are meant to come back. Sometimes your soul is not asking for reunion. It is asking for release. This is where the locked room opens, not because someone else gives you the key, but because you stop waiting outside a door that kept you emotionally trapped. The guidance for this transit is simple, but not always easy. Slow down. Do not force clarity before it arrives, but do not ignore it when it does. Journal what you feel without editing yourself. Write the truth you would say if you were not afraid of the outcome. Notice what you are still attached to. Notice what drains you. Notice what makes your body tense. Have one honest conversation if it is necessary, but do not use this energy to explode from weeks of suppressed emotion. Speak from the soul, not from the wound. Step back before reacting. Protect your money. Protect your energy. Protect your sleep. Protect your peace. This is also a powerful time to let something symbolic go. A message you do not need to reread. A habit that keeps reopening. The past. A private fantasy that has become more painful than inspiring. A promise you made to an older version of yourself who did not know what you know now.
Ow.
You do not need a dramatic ritual to honor this moon. You need honesty. Sit with yourself. What am I ready to stop carrying? Where have I confused pain with loyalty? Ask, what truth would free me if I stopped resisting it? then listen. The dark water answers when you stop disturbing it. For Scorpio, this full moon is deeply personal. It is happening in your sign, which means the reflection is not far away. It is looking directly at you. Scorpio, you may feel more exposed than usual, even if no one knows what you are going through. Your emotions may be stronger, your instincts sharper, your patience thinner, your inner world louder. About your identity, your desires, your emotional attachments, or the way you have been protecting yourself may come into focus. You may realize that the armor that once saved you is now too heavy to keep wearing every day. Scorpio, this is not weakness. This is rebirth. You are not being asked to become less powerful. You are being asked to stop confusing power with emotional isolation. You may have survived by staying guarded, by reading every room, by sensing betrayal before it arrived, by holding your pain so privately that even the people closest to you did not know the full weight of it. But under this moon, the dark water reflects your own face back to you, and it asks, are you ready to be known by yourself without fear? Your breakthrough may come when you stop punishing yourself for needing softness. It may come when you stop testing people who have already shown you who they are. It may come when you choose truth over control. For Scorpio, relationships may feel especially intense. You may see who can meet your depth and who only wants the mystery of you, without the responsibility of loving you well. You may also see where you have hidden behind silence instead of expressing what you truly need. This full moon may bring emotional release, but it may also bring self-respect. You are not here to beg for emotional honesty. You are not here to keep translating someone else's confusion into hope. You are here to rise from the old version of yourself that accepted fragments and called them destiny. Let the dark water show you what is real, and choose from that truth. For Taurus, this full moon activates the opposite side of your sky. That means relationships, partnership, commitment, trust, and emotional exchange may become impossible to ignore. Taurus, you often crave peace, stability, loyalty, and something you can depend on. You do not like emotional chaos. You do not like being rushed into uncertainty. But sometimes, in the name of peace, you may stay too long in situations that are not truly peaceful. They are just familiar. This Scorpio full moon may show you the difference. Taurus, your emotional breakthrough may come through a relationship mirror. Someone's behavior may reveal what words have been hiding. A pattern may become too obvious to dismiss. You may realize where you have been holding on because letting go would disrupt the life you imagined. You may also realize where your own fear of change has kept you from asking for deeper truth. This moon does not want to destroy your stability. It wants to purify it. It wants to help you build a life that is not only comfortable, but honest. Money and self-worth may also be powerful themes for you, Taurus. You may feel called to rethink what security really means. Security having something even if it drains you. Is security staying in a role, relationship, or pattern because it feels predictable? Or is security knowing that you can trust yourself to make hard choices and still be okay? The dark water may show you where your comfort zone has become a cage, and once you see it, you may not be able to unsee it. That is not punishment. That is liberation beginning quietly. For Leo, this Scorpio full moon may reach into the private rooms of your life. Home, family, emotional foundations, childhood patterns, and the parts of you that the public does not see may become more sensitive. Leo, people often see your warmth, confidence, creativity, and strength, but they may not always see the emotional weight you carry behind closed doors. They may not know how much you have had to hold together while still showing up, still performing, still being generous, still being the light in rooms where you were privately exhausted. Leo, this full moon may bring a hidden feeling to the surface, something connected to family, belonging, safety, or your inner child may ask for attention. You may feel more nostalgic, you may feel more protective of your space, you may feel less willing to entertain people or situations that disturb your emotional center. This is important. Your breakthrough may not come from being louder. It may come from finally being honest in the quiet. It may come from admitting that you need rest, support, tenderness, or a different kind of home inside yourself. In relationships, Leo, this moon may show you who sees the real you when the performance ends, who loves you when you are not entertaining, who supports you when you are not shining, who respects your vulnerability instead of only benefiting from your strength. The dark water reflects the part of you that has been waiting to be cared for without having to earn it. And if something in your private life has felt emotionally heavy, This full moon may help you name it. Not to create drama, but to create healing. You are allowed to protect your peace without apologizing for needing it. For all signs, but especially Scorpio, Taurus, and Leo, this full moon is a sacred threshold. It may feel like standing at the edge of dark water with the moon above you and a locked room behind you. The room contains the past, the old stories, the emotional contracts, the fears, the attachments, the versions of yourself that survived but never fully healed. The water contains the reflection, the truth, the thing you are ready to see. The choice is not whether the moon will shine, it will. The choice is whether you will keep looking away. This is not a time to fear your emotions. It is a time to respect them. Not every feeling is an instruction, but every feeling is information. Not every memory is a sign to return, but every memory can show you what still needs compassion. Not every ending is a loss, and not every beginning arrives. With celebration, some beginnings arrive as quiet decisions. Some breakthroughs sound like a deep breath after months of holding yourself together. Some transformations begin when you finally say, I cannot keep betraying myself for the comfort of what is familiar. As the Scorpio full moon approaches, you may feel life becoming more honest. That honesty may feel uncomfortable at first. It may interrupt illusions. It may expose emotional exhaustion. It may show you who is safe and who is only familiar. It may reveal where money, love, energy, and power have become tangled. But beneath all of that intensity, there is a gift. The gift is clarity. The gift is release. The gift is the chance to stop carrying what was never meant to become your permanent identity. So move through this moon with reverence. Do not rush your healing. Do not perform peace if your soul is asking for truth. Do not create chaos just because emotions are rising. Let the water settle. Let the moon show you what is real. Let your body speak. Let your spirit breathe. Let the locked room open only as much as you are ready to enter. And when you see the reflection, do not turn away from yourself. The Scorpio full moon does not come to leave you broken. It comes to show you where you were already breaking yourself by staying silent, staying small, staying attached, staying afraid, or staying loyal to pain that no longer deserves your devotion. This is where the emotional breakthrough begins. Not in the sky alone, but inside you. The moment you choose truth over fear, and the moment you choose self-respect over longing, the moment you stop asking the past to become a place where you can finally live. Under this moon, the dark water is still. The reflection is clear. The locked room is opening, and the truth you avoided may become the truth that frees you. May this full moon reveal only what your soul is ready to heal. May it protect you from illusions that once looked like comfort. May it guide you back to your own power with softness, wisdom, and courage. And may you remember this: when the moon shows you what is hidden, it is not trying to take your peace. It is trying to return you to the part of yourself that was waiting beneath the surface, ready to rise.